Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yours truly, Joe Dupree, in the building from 100 BLK to Black Station. Got my brother from another mother across the way in the green room. Sister Jackson's chilling, but we in the building. Hashtag truth be told. My brother Fatim, you know him from the open line online and keeping it real with Reverend Al Sharpton. 1075 WBLS in New York City. And yeah, brother Fatim, wearing them Cowboys gear, victorious yesterday against the Browns. They gave the Browns, they just gave the Browns a good old-fashioned beat down. Of course, football season is back. My Steelers were victorious. A lot of good teams won. Sister Jackson's in the building. You know her as the life strategist, the art therapist, the speaker, and the author. Yeah, it's hashtag Truth Be Told, family. We in the building on this Make It Happen Monday. Ninth day of September, 7 minutes past the hour. And in the good state of Louisiana, we got our mind on two things. An impeding hurricane that looks like it's going to come directly to my house and just camp itself for a few minutes. Yeah, an impeding hurricane that looks like it's going to do a direct line directly to Lafayette, Louisiana, a little bit to the left of me or a little bit to the right of me. Either way it goes, look like we got a hurricane that's brewing in the Gulf that is not going to be a major hurricane, but to me, any hurricane is major, be it a 1, 2, a 3, a 4, or a 5, because damage can be ensued. And so I would just tell everybody who is in my area, get prepared. If you haven't got prepared, get prepared, because seems to be between now and Thursday, it's going to be a rumble in the jungle. That's all I can say. Good morning, family. How y'all doing this morning?
What up? I'm doing all right. How you doing, Fatim? I'm doing all right.
I'm good. I woke up great this morning, feeling great, but I know that the start of the show, my mood was going to change. So let me go ahead and get this off my chest. If I had, I know I'm sitting here with Dallas. Matter of fact, it's Dak Prescott, who got a contract extension. He is the highest paid NFL player in pretty much history. But if I had a Miami Dolphin jersey and a hat, I would be sitting up here with the Miami Dolphin jersey and hat this morning. The reason why, because here we go again with the damn police doing the bull crap that they do. I try not to use no profanity. What they did to this brother on the Miami Dolphins yesterday before the game near the damn stadium. Tyreek Hill pulled out of his damn car, face down on the ground. That's crazy. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of coming on here and talking about this. I'm tired of making disclaimer about good cops. I'm working with law enforcement in New York on some stuff. I'm tired of making those statements. I'm not making that disclaimer this morning. I'm going full throttle on these badass cops. These bastards need to go. I'm telling you, man, keep doing what you're doing, and I'm telling you, the chickens are going to come home to roost. I'm telling you, you got to stop humiliating people. If that would have been Tom Brady, you think Tom Brady would have been pulled out of his car, face down on the ground and humiliated? Then when another Miami Dolphin player, some of the players came, they put another Miami Dolphin player in handcuffs. I'm going full force at the Miami-Dade Police Department. If they're good cops, then you need to make a statement about this. I know one of the officers has been put on whatever duty, they still get their damn paycheck. They continue to do this to us. I'm tired of coming on here and have to deal with this every time something goes wrong. This guy's on his way to the damn game. I'm glad what he did when he scored that touchdown yesterday. I'm glad he mocked that damn arrest yesterday. I woke up in a great mood. I'm in a good mood, but I knew this was going to happen. That's why I say I stand up for the Miami Dolphins. I stand up for brother Tyreek Hill. I stand up for all the brothers and sisters that have got to go through this while honestly driving, walking, breathing while black here in America. I'm sorry, y'all, I had to come on here, but this was on my chest and I had to go. I'm not making no disclaimer about good cops. This is not about good cops today. This is about the continuation of badass police officers, black, brown, white, green, purple, blue. I don't give a damn. The ones that wear the damn blue uniform, that they ain't doing the right job. They need to go. They're going to pull the wrong dude out the wrong car at one time. And then when they start firing back at y'all, then you're going to say, oh, he shouldn't have done that or she shouldn't have done it. Well, we tired of being humiliated. Arrested for no purpose or killed for no purpose. I'm sorry. This was I felt it building up. That's why I took a shower. Since I came for the gym, I got to the gym early. Great mood this morning. But I knew when I got on this show, I swear I wish I had Miami Dolphin jersey and a hat. I would have been late this morning if the mall would have been open, because I stand in solidarity with Tyreek Hill and the Miami Dolphins and all those that have been wrong. Black, white, or brown that have been wrong. But the majority of the times it's us. This brother was humiliated, man.
That's right. And you know, Fatim, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry.
I definitely ain't goddamn sorry. I ain't apologizing for a damn thing this morning.
That's right. That's right. Because you know what? Oppression maketh the wise man mad. You know what I'm saying? So you have every right to be angry, pissed off, and we all should be. And we all got to do stuff about it. Like you said on the show, I don't know if it was Thursday or Friday, we can't just keep sitting on the sidelines. You know, many times we'll be in a chat or we'll have conversations, but it's all deep and stuff. But then when it's actually time to really mobilize and pull up and do something, it's crickets. You know what I'm saying? So kudos to those out there that stand up and do something about the injustices, even if it's just on their block. You know what I'm saying? Or even if it's in their home. Like, we have to expand it from just our home and our block to the larger system, because we're all battling the same stuff. And just like what happened to Tyreek Hill, that can happen to you. It can happen to Brother Joe. It can happen to me, you know, or our children. So it's unfortunate, but we got to do something. We talk about it all the time, but I mean, this is how that system works. And it makes me think back to a statement my husband made on the show that none of us really, you know, addressed when he asked that question. What would you rather have? I think he said to beat us or something like that, like our oppressor or our oppressor's, you know, slave or whatever it was. So either way, I get it. You know, sometimes the oppressor slave, like the Willie Lynch letter talks about, they gonna come at us even harder. You know what I'm saying? The ones that look like us. So even if it's bad cops that look like us and they a bad cop, they're going to go 10 times harder. Because just like the Willie Lynch letter talks about, the oppressors, they looked at us as money. And they looked at us like, no, we're going to beat the shit out you, but we ain't going to kill you because we still need you to till that land. You know, so it's a rough thing and it's such a tragedy. So big ups to Tyreek Hill and prayers for him and his family that he can get the justice that he deserves.
And prayers goes out to Jewel Wall that is, you know, in the chat too, who's also been abused and brutalized by the police. You understand? It's just not the stars that we see. It's the everyday average person that, you know, the Sonia Massey, you call the cops and to assist you and whatever, and then you wind up dead. I mean, I can't change my mood right now. I was in such a great mood this morning, but I knew this was the first thing because I was sitting here boiling. I was sitting here boiling till I can get this off my chest this morning. And I appreciate y'all allowing me to vent. But, you know, I'm wearing this because I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. But again, if I had Miami Dolphins gear, I would have it on today in solidarity with brother Tyreek Hill and the Miami Dolphins. I'm glad that they won. I'm glad Tyreek Hill did what he did in the game, and he spoke after the game. You understand? This is crazy, man. Joe?
Right. And you know what? Also, before you go, Joe, some of these owners of these teams, they need to really get involved and not just use us as like the you know, minstrel show or whatever, getting out there performing and playing and catching and bouncing and dribbling.
Thank you.
They need to stand up for their people. You know what I'm saying? If we truly are their people, you know, on their teams or whatever, they need to stand up. But you don't hear them speaking out a whole bunch or going down to the station or handling the business or trying to work something out within the police, the task force within their community. It needs to be almost like a thing what they do in high schools and in other parts of urban communities, especially. They'll try to have things where the police come together with the community to have conversations, to talk, to try to engage and get to know each other. So maybe they could do something in different states or countries where the police actually go into the facility, the practice facility, and have a conversation and engage with some of these brothers. But that needs to be set up by, you know, higher management, you know, so they can't just use us to keep on playing games and not protect us at the same token.
I don't know the schedule of the Miami Dolphins real quick. I know Joe, but if I was the Miami Dolphin today, I would try to mobilize. I would surround those officers, precinct, whatever, and send a message to them. We're not tolerating this. I'm not trying to do this through public relations. Y'all didn't do this. You didn't throw me on the ground and humiliated me through public relations. You didn't do that. You didn't do that yesterday. I'm telling you, stop being nice. I'm tired of being nice. Go ahead, Joe, because I'll just go all day venting. So
go
ahead, my brother.
Yeah, go to that police officer's house. You can find anything.
Yeah, right. You know where I'm at.
Yeah, go to his house, surround his house. You know what I'm saying? Look, you know me too, Fatin. So I be getting ready to go in too. So go ahead, Joe.
Yeah,
you know, I got a lot of emotions about this, and brother Fatin is spot on. You know, it's so much just, you know, bad actors are bad actors, man. And, you know, I don't know if it's an HR hiring process. I don't know if it's the level of jealousy amongst folks. Because, you know, some folks, they just mad because you making more money than them. You live in you know, they don't see the sacrifice you made in the gym, on the practice field. They don't see the sacrifice, but all they know is that this brother, which they probably look at as a ninja.
Yep.
This ninja here, driving nice.
Yep.
Got all the pretty, not only does he have all the pretty ladies that are melanated, he got all the pretty non-melanated. He got all the pretty women, period. He got all the money, all this jewelry. And here I am doing a 12-hour shift and barely making $50,000 to $75,000 a year, and I'm mad. And those type folks don't deserve a badge, a gun, a uniform, or a position. But unfortunately, bad actors are out there. You know, and I don't know where these bad actors, non-melanated or melanated, but bad actors are bad actors, and bad folks are just bad folks. I woke up early this morning to the sounds of gunshots, and that's why I had to put my little post up of how I'm tired. And to say I'm tired would be a mild exaggeration. But it comes a time we all get tired. So, Brother Fatim, you coming on saying what you had to say this morning. That's why we do this podcast. This podcast ain't always going to be smiles and giggles and ha kiki. That needed to be said. And regardless of if Jack's husband is a police officer, I'm a police officer, sometimes you got to hear the real truth. That some people in your profession ain't about shit and never were about shit, never will be about shit, wasn't about shit before they got hired because they wasn't shit in the beginning. And you can't put shit in a uniform and call it a good person. It's still shit.
Mm-hmm.
Joe and Jax.
Mm-hmm.
I'll read Douglas Guidry comment. I will not comment on it unless he calls in. He says, "Man, it's football season. I hate when racial issues have to be tied in with the season. Let's just play effing football." I won't comment. I mean, KC responded and said, "I don't care what season it is. Why should we tolerate being abused by the system?" I'll let that be said. Guidry, you call in, I'll respond to you on air.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not responding to that bullshit right there.
Yeah.
So you call in.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem. That's the whole thing with Colin Kaepernick. That's the whole thing. Let's just play football. I'm so glad I got to know that brother. I'm so glad that he would walk around the station because he went out with the young lady that's on my sister station, Nessa, and they had a baby last year. And Colin got chance to really get in this brother's head. And he's just a throwback. You want to talk about Dr. King and Malcolm X and all these other great people. Well, it ain't about just playing football. It's about, football is nice. It's nice to go out there and play sports. I'm a sports fan. But the bottom line is that we will live in this world. A lot of people try to escape by going to sports. But the bottom line is you try to escape reality, but reality is what it is. Those football players are black and white, and they go through the same challenges that everybody goes through. Because you're in the stadium, just effing play football. No, hell no. Not when people, again, right now, Tom Brady wouldn't be pulled out of his car. And if Tom Brady would have been pulled out of the car, you would have had more commentators, Barkley and all of them, breaking their ass to get to the mic. Breaking their ass to get to the damn mic.
Yeah.
Oh, Tom Brady this, Tom Brady. And I'm a Tom Brady fan. I'm just trying to show you it wouldn't hardly happen to Tom Brady.
That's right.
We do have Brother Guidry on the phone.
Go
Good
ahead,
morning, Brother Guidry.
put him on.
Well, welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told. The mic is yours, sir.
Man, I just want to say, man, my Saints yesterday damn near killed Carolina. I just want to get that out there. And my comment goes to, man, it's football season, man. It's time to put everything aside and let's focus on football and let's not focus on the distractions because we've been bombarded with this presidential clown race. So it's time to just kick back and enjoy some football. I don't want to be back in the tailspin with anything dealing with race. Now, I'm glad it did happen, but it's over with. It's Monday Night Football tonight. And the guy played exceptionally well yesterday. Did you watch the game, Fatim?
I mean, I saw the game. I commented on the game. I'm glad he did what he did. But I just think that what you said is not responsible. I just don't think it's responsible as an individual, as a black man that has helped the individual that was stalked by other people out there. Wait. To make it like it's just football and I'm tired of this. It's like getting away. No, we get away with join sports to enjoy the sports there. But again, it don't take away from the reality that we live in and day out. A football game doesn't stop the clock on racism. It doesn't stop the clock on poverty. It doesn't stop the clock on a presidential race. It doesn't stop the clock on the isms that people, sexual abuse, all these things, my brother. So even though we want to enjoy football because we're sports fans, the bottom line is we can't walk away from reality. And to say that, when you say a statement like that, you shit on so many other people that have been abused by this system at the end of the day. And to me, that's irresponsible, my brother.
Mm-hmm.
And here it goes again. And I pick up everything you're throwing down. But just think about the OJ cases. We hear about the OJ case, but just think about it happens every day. It just happened to have happened to an NFL player. And that's why it's proliferated all over the dudes, brother. Right?
And I said that. That's why I said it happens to the everyday person at the end of the day. It happens to the everyday person, but it happened again. I bring this up when it happens to the average person. That's why I do what I do, because I fight for the average person that don't get the media attention that the stars get, my brother. So that's the road I travel.
Mhm.
And the
That's right.
NFL is pretty fair when it comes to black and white athletes. When they do something wrong, they get their time in the press, like the Brett Favre issue that was hot at one time and they just balled over. All I'm saying is it's football. I don't want to be distracted by that, but it is an issue.
Isn't football a distraction to reality?
Yeah.
Isn't football and sports a distraction to reality? It's the other way around, brother. It's not the real life world is not a distraction to football, which is just a damn game, bro. It's just a damn game. But the reality is that we breathe and walk life, and we have to deal with ins and outs of life day to day. So when we talk about escaping to go to football, that's fine. That's cool. But when you make a statement, all I just want to do is I don't want to hear about this foolery, or I don't want to hear about that. You belittle what has happened, my brother. And that's the problem.
I'm glad you said that, because the real world is there's more black on black killings than anything. Have you read the paper? Even here in my city.
And we talk about that. Don't use that as a distraction to talk about what we're talking about. Everything is a problem. When Colin Kaepernick did a knee, he just didn't do a knee just on racism. He did it on all the isms that was happening to us. But no, he was not being a patriot. He was this, he was that. But we want to talk about King and Malcolm, but they talked about the same damn thing that we're still going through. And when you make statements like this, it's like, how the hell? It's like you're a hypocrite, because you talk about King, you talk about Malcolm and all these other great leaders, but then it's hypocritical when you make statements like this.
Mm-hmm.
No, brother, for team, don't sway the jury like that.
I'm gonna tell it like it is.
You know that's not my premise, but I understand what you're trying to do.
Statement, brother. That's your statement. Don't tell me I'm swaying the premise. That's your statement and your verbal statement, your written statement and your verbal statement.
But you know what? The easiest way to solve it, brother Guidry, and we love you. But if you look at your phone, there's a little arrow that's a back arrow that you can click to get out of the conversation. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be a part of the conversation, because you know how we are. We're going to talk about facts. We're going to talk about reality and truths. And that's what we're going to have those conversations. So like Fatin is saying, sports is just an escape. It's a tool to help people escape, to entertain them for that couple of hours. And then you move on. But guess what? Life is still there. And guess what? Even during those football games, during that time, there are still cops projecting crimes onto our people. Whether it be at the stadium, on the road to the stadium, somebody on their way to work, crimes are still happening. So football is just an escape, or basketball, whatever. So we got to still stick with reality. And it's great that you need that escape, because we all do need some sort of escape. But reality is reality, and we're going to fight no matter what. It's no time off. None.
Well, I enjoyed the game yesterday. I enjoyed all the games yesterday, but that don't take me from reality.
Yeah.
Look, the Super Bowl, black guys performing.
Oh, what? That's what I'm saying. This conversation is pretty much over now, because you're not saying anything of substance. So what's black people performing? What is that? What does that mean?
We're not celebrating that.
Not after my man had to kiss the ground. Not after my man had to kiss the ground yesterday. No, I ain't celebrating that right now. No, hell no.
We got to deal with the dark side, right?
Well,
we deal with the reality side. It ain't the dark side, it's the reality side.
Truth be told, had that been you, Brother Douglas, or someone else, and we had got that information, truth be told, regardless of if the Saints, the Steelers, the Cowboys, I don't know who Jackson's team is, but regardless if my favorite team won, truth be told, had that been you or someone else and we had got that information, we would have been talking about it, because that's the problem. We can't just skate over things because it shouldn't be skated over. That's somebody, regardless if it's Tariq Hill, it could have been you, could have been me, it could have been our daughters, our sons, our aunties, our uncles, our mothers, our fathers. And if it happens, if it's injustice and it happens, we got to talk about it. We got to overlook all the good news and talk about this one thing to bring people into awareness that it is what it is and it's happening and it needs to stop happening. Because once again, had it been somebody near and dear to us, you'd be wanting us to talk about it.
Yep. And you know what?
Yeah,
Sometimes
it happened.
people react out
It
of trauma.
happened to me,
Right?
bro.
So it's like hear no evil, see no evil. Like sometimes they can't deal with reality from their own personal traumas. And so sometimes it's like we can't take hearing it. And it's understandable. Like we get it. So you know, we're just gonna keep you in prayer, my brother, that and pray that you continue to fight on in the fight for our people. That's what it's really about. Fighting in the fight for our people and not going against our people.
And the reason why I'm laughing, and now my mood is trying to change, the reason why I'm laughing, because God bless the soul of my moms and father who are not here. But if Gidry would have been my uncle, and I know my parents, they wouldn't allow no disrespect to an elder. But if Gidry would have been my uncle and he would have taught this crap in the house, I at 12 years old, I would have had so many ass whippings because I would have crossed the line, because I would have put your ass, I would have checked your ass at 12 in my own house. And I know my mother ran my ass up and down the hallway, whipping my ass and washing my mouth out with soap. But I would have graduated to the adulthood because I would have checked your ass at 12, brother. I couldn't tolerate that when I was young, and I definitely ain't gonna tolerate it now, bro. Sorry. But I love you, Gidry. I love you, my brother, but I don't love some of your stances, my brother. I don't.
Hey, thank you for calling in, Brother Gidry. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. Have a good day.
All right.
Have a good day.
So y'all can join in the conversation, 225-250-8770. I'm going to jump off and let Sister Jackson, Brother Fatim, keep the conversation flowing. Because, of course, as I told you, we have a tropical storm that's headed our way. And I got a call I need to address, but I'll be right back. Yes, I will.
You know what else with football I find interesting? And I saw several reels, over the weekend about it, and I see it on the news and my kids talk about it. And I saw one last night that, was just, I forgot who posted it, but a lot of the football players, especially these young guys, when they have like the draft, parties and all of that stuff, and they're at their houses and they might be sitting on the couch with their, black family or whatever. And then you might see one little, as Dr. Umar called him, a snow bunny. He's sitting there, maybe the snow bunny dad in the background. Yeah. So it just cracks me up when I see that. It cracks me up, but it breaks my heart, at the same token. And I saw something else with, with a brother on the field, a young brother on the field, his first game, and the little snow bunny, girl comes running out to him, and the black mom looked, and then she just walked away. And I'm like, oh man, like that breaks my heart. That breaks my heart.
But why does it break? But why does it break your heart, Jess?
You know what? Honestly, it just breaks my heart because I'm like, that mom and that dad, and I know I'm gonna probably get flack on it, but hey, y'all, it is what it is. That mom and potentially that dad have worked so hard, in the community, so hard with that, young man to try to help him get to where he is. And it's just would be beautiful to see that young man with another sister to continue to build our, black family. You know what I'm saying? But when you have somebody else in there, like infiltrating and like almost reaping the rewards of all the hard work this black mama, did and the dad did potentially or potentially the black mom did, because they're not always present either. So just to see that, I would just love to see, more of a good black sister get with a good black man and have a good, strong black family. That's what I think that's beautiful.
So I'm twofold. So flip it. I mean, you got white families that, do the same thing as black families. And then let's just say the basketball star is a female and she's white and she gets drafted to the WNBA and her boyfriend through high school was black. And you hear white folks say this. How would you feel on that? And then someone who follows the scriptures and talk about love, how do you make that statement, without some kind of pushback?
Because following scriptures talk about nations not intermingling with other nations. Actually, when you read deep into the scriptures, it does talk about that. Yeah, it talks a lot about love, but it also has a lot of the scriptures are broken down into nations. and to not marry other nations, actually, you know, in the scriptures, if people really want to read and go deep into it. So I mean, people gonna do what they, you know, people gonna do what they want to do. You know, I'm happy for whoever you love, like it is what it is. But I just know, you know, for me, I feel some kind of way. Even when I was watching the Olympics, and I was seeing a lot of these Black sisters with their, you know, non-melanated, you know, boyfriends or husbands or whatever, it still kind of made me feel, you know, a little heartbroken a little bit, because I'm sure like another nice young Black brother would love to have this beautiful, you know, sister. But I'm just big on building the Black family, you know.
So let me just say this. So a couple of things. So I think that I just was having a conversation about this the other day, you know, and I said I was hoping I have to go in the Bible today. I was hoping I didn't. But, you know, on the serious side, I keep saying that we want to use the scriptures for our use here. And we talk about not intermingling. And I understand that, you know, but again, we have to separate from society. If you want to walk that, it's like we're trying to implement this in our lives, which in our lives, and I mentioned this before about two systems. You have a God system and you have this kind of government system, which is looked at by those that quote unquote follow the scriptures as being part of the system of the devil. And I keep saying that we try to implement while we're living in this world. And it talks about that in Revelations, that you need to come out of her, come out, because eventually Babylon's falling. Oh, when are you going to separate? When hell breaks loose and the government is falling, then you're going to pull out? It's too late. It's too late. It's too late, because it says that when this falls, those that have not stepped out are going to fall with it, the good and the bad. Those that pray, you're going to fall with it. So it comes down to preference. Now, let's talk about preference, because I'm not going to throw you under the bus on this. I have my preference.
Yeah.
I have my preference, but I've learned not to put my preference on other people. Absolutely. I know what my preference is. I know what I'm not going to do, or what I'm going to, you know what I'm saying? Because I believe in the strong Black family. I do believe in that. But for me, I can't tell people who to love. And for me, I keep saying that if a Black and a white person comes together and they are more happy than two Black people that are at each other's throats and not this, then more power to those that can have a good and happy life if they love one another and they can move on in a positive way. I'm about our race, but I'm not about a dysfunctional race. Absolutely. That's what I'm not for. I'm not about a dysfunctional. I'm not about a Black man and a Black woman getting together and they can't commingle and they can't cohabitate together and prosper together. Then I'm not going to sit there. I believe in it, but if that's not going to work, I'm not just going to stick up and put up this right fist where a Black brother or Black female want to get with somebody who's not melanated. I know the stigmas and the things that go with it, and I know I have my opinions about it. But at the end of the day, I'd rather them be happy, however they choose to be happy, long as they about helping. They don't forget where they came from. Yeah. Long as they don't forget where they came from. Yeah. And stand on, because it's not easy being Black, marrying somebody white, and dealing with racism in this country. It's not the easiest thing. And sometimes you have to remember, I talked about last week about compromising your values. I don't want to see you compromise your values at the end of the day. And a white person, at the end of the day, I just got to see this. A Trump supporter and a Democrat coming together. Yeah. That's going to be interesting. And the families coming together, having dinner together. Woo, that's going to be interesting. But you love who you want at the end of the day. But I understand what you're saying about preference. Yeah, I do understand that.
And I mean, I have friends that, you know, males and females that have married or have babies with non-melanated, people, friends, relatives, colleagues, whatever. Like, so it is what it is. And I would never judge them or treat them differently. But I know for me, like, it still makes me feel like, dang, you know what I'm saying? Because I love looking at and seeing my Black brothers with my Black sisters in a healthy relationship, a positive relationship, continue to build the Black economy together and contribute to society and raising those children up to have, confidence and, love and understanding of who they are and, just really understand the whole spectrum of life. But you know, it is what it is. People gonna do what they
No.
want to do, and I would
No,
not.
and I agree. And I agree, Sister Jax. That's why I said I couldn't throw you under the bus, because I
Yeah.
walk in the same footsteps. I believe in my sisters.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe in putting into my sisters. You understand? And that's how I grew up, and that's where I believe. That's my passion. You understand? That's my passion, and that's how I tend to move in life. That's what I believe. I believe in about the Black nation and about the Black family, because we have so many issues that we need to, that unity, that common unity
Absolutely.
there at, you know, at the end of the day. I don't even know. Again, they say you can't help who you fall in love. I've met some really good, cool white women. They really cool. I mean, really down. You know what I'm saying? But I've never dated a white woman. I never slept with a white woman. I never did, you know. So that just was not one of my preferences, you know. When I was younger, I became more into our people. So the pride thing came early. You understand what I'm saying? If that pride thing didn't come early, it might have been a couple of notches on the belt. I don't know. But I came into the pride thing early. But I do understand what you're saying. And I do understand with the way you brought it up. And I see these, you know, I see these drafts and I watch them, and you go forward. Like LeBron gets a lot of flack. You know, he gets a lot of flack because, you know, Michael Jordan, who's the GOAT, this, that, and the other. But if you look at LeBron James, he has been him and his wife has been a great example of childhood sweethearts.
Yeah.
Coming together, marrying, bringing up their children, doing it the right way. He's been a great example. Him and his family, not just him, his wife, his children have been a great example of how a family structure could come together and work together. And even if they have ups and downs like any other relationship, you don't hear about these scandals. You don't hear him about this, that, and the other so far. So I gotta lift him up, because I still think Michael Jordan is the GOAT, but LeBron has done, I mean, what he's done, nobody's done what he has done in the game of NBA basketball. But I have to uplift this man. But if I have to say in a GOAT in life versus Michael Jordan, GOAT in life goes to LeBron, because he has done it. Jordan cheated on his wife. I knew Jordan cheated with his wife, because when we covered the Knicks, we knew when he left the game where he was going.
Okay.
There was a talker in the locker room. So that's his lifestyle. I didn't interview him about that. I interviewed him about the game. But the GOAT in life goes to LeBron and his wife, not just LeBron.
Yeah.
Not elevating just LeBron. I'm elevating LeBron and his wife and his family, because they have been a great example of how you can do it out there. So
that's right. And you know, it makes me think about the saying. I never heard my mom say, because I know my mom they used to call her United Nations, because she dated a couple different races and stuff like that when I was little. Yeah, and your
mom gonna curse your ass out in a minute.
But I mean, this is after my parents divorced and stuff. But I mean, I remember hearing not my mom say, but just other people in the community say it. If she can't use your comb, don't bring her home. You know, so as a kid, that always like stuck, you know, in my head. And then I remember my brothers and my cousins and the other, you know, men in the community, they would talk about having sex with a white girl, but never like trying to be in a relationship with one. You know what I'm saying? I know my dad was, you know, my parents got divorced. My dad was for a minute, but outside of that, like I just, you know, remember the brother saying like, oh yeah, she'll, you know, suck your boom boom or whatever. She'll do this and that, but she ain't gonna be your girl. You know, like
What's
don't
a
make
boom boom. What's a boom
I don't know. I don't know. That just came out of my mouth. So I ain't say nothing crazy. You know,
boom boom.
You know what I'm saying? She'll like your pee-pee, you know, but because some of them girls, they were doing way different stuff than what we were doing as kids. When, you know, when we were teenagers, we was like, we is not putting that in.
I don't know. Where did you grow up at? I grew up in Brooklyn. All right, so I grew up in Brooklyn.
I mean, it was a few fresh girls in the neighborhood. You know, it was a few fresh girls, but as a whole, like black girls back in the day, we didn't do some of the stuff, the advanced stuff some of them other sisters was doing. You had a pocket of black girls doing some of the real freaky fresh stuff.
Easy now.
I know.
Easy.
I mean, but, you know, like for me, I was a pretty good girl like my whole life. You know, I was,
good girl.
Say what?
You hesitated. I was a pretty good girl.
Yeah.
I got it. That gives a little. I mean,
I deviated from time to time, but overall, I was a good girl, but like I said, according to the Most High, I was ratchet, you know what I'm saying? Because I was just out of line, but according to society, I was never like a really like, I could walk down the street and people don't be like, oh yeah, I had Jacks. Like nobody has stories like that. Like I didn't get around like that. That wasn't me. But I know them other chicks was a little bit more on the promiscuous side, but my black sisters, we a lot of us didn't really get down like that too much. So it's just interesting.
Interesting. I'll just leave that alone.
Yep. And you know what else? I was reading an article over the weekend, right? So Selma Hayek, y'all know the actress Selma Hayek. She's been married to this guy, I think, for like about 15 years. And he's, much older than her. He doesn't, he's from a different, I think he's like a French businessman or whatever. So he owns like, I think Gucci and a bunch of other brands are under his business or whatever. So I just find it so interesting because the article was saying how they kept it under wraps, how they got married, right? And she didn't want to marry him at first. But her mother and her brothers basically dragged her and siblings dragged her to the courthouse. And she felt like it was, she said she felt like it was an intervention because she was never big on getting married. But then, and this was an older guy, a Frenchman. Selma Hayek is not, Selma Hayek is not a French woman or whatever. But she ended up marrying this guy. And now they have like a kid, at least one kid together. I don't know if they have more. But it was just interesting. So I think I have a picture. Let me see if I have a picture.
Well, Selma Hayek did the movie, I believe it was the Wild Wild West. If it was the Wild Wild West with Will Smith,
yep,
Jada was on.
No, yep.
Yeah. She's a sexy, she's a sexy ass. Oh, yeah, she is beautiful. Not only beautiful, she's sexy. And when she did that movie with Will Smith, it was reported that Jada was on set a lot because she was concerned about, it's amazing, her little nasty ass, but it's, what I'm saying? But she was concerned about Selma, and Will, and it's not known that they have that. But I had a quick question real quick for you, Jax, but you talked about being that good girl. And I brought this up where, a lot of women talk about they don't cheat or they don't do this and don't do that. And a lot of times you don't put yourself in that environment. Mm-hmm. You don't put yourself in that environment because, like I said, and I gave this story before about Monie Love and Tupac. And no, she didn't cross the line, but she said something to me that I never forgot. Mm-hmm. And she said that she said it to me because I knew her. I knew her husband, I knew her kids, and I knew how she operated. Monie Love was a beautiful woman. Yeah. I saw guys at the radio station try to come at her. She shut their asses down. She said this. She said, Fatih, the day she was talking to me, because she broke down on the radio because Tupac had just recently died. So I heard her, and so I was leaving Brooklyn. So I decided, let me go up there and kind of, stay in the studio with her and kind of console her while she's doing her breaks and stuff like that. So she started to tell the story how her and Tupac were on tour together and Left Eye. A lot of people don't know that Tupac and Left Eye had a little something going. Yep. So what happened, she said, is that she never encountered a man like Tupac that challenged all her values. And when she said that to me, I heard her because she was saying something that some other women have said, but people don't listen because they say, no, I keep my legs closed, this, that. Sometimes you don't know what you do when that right person hits you, because that right person hits you differently, not just physically, hits your spirit differently. Yeah. And she said she had to do everything in her power not to give herself to Tupac. She said, Fatine, I've never encountered this before. So everything I talk from my experience. But when I met Tupac, he was a different individual. She said, because if you notice Tupac, she talked about his eyes, she talked about his personality. That is the different kind of persona away from the records and everything. And she said, Fatine, he touched me that no other man touched me like that. Yeah. Yeah. And I say that because a lot of times men and women, we infatuated, we may be in love, but then there's somebody that touches your spirit differently, that makes you melt, that will make you do things that you will compromise your marriage. It happened to one of them, I'm not going to call his name, and it almost jeopardized his marriage. He ran into a woman on the job like that, and he almost lost his marriage. We worked together, and I'm the one that I went to lunch with her, came and brought her down and introduced her to him. And then they wind up talking the day I didn't come into work, and it developed into something that he lost his mind. This was a brother in the church and a history, grandfather, father, pastor of the church, and now he's the pastor of the church. He almost lost his marriage because it's something that hit him, and it just was something that he said, I've never experienced before.
Yeah, I believe it. And you know, it happens. You know, the devil is busy. So like he can try to come at anybody and destroy anything. And you know, it's funny. And this is a super transparent moment, y'all. And I'm ashamed of it, but I'm gonna still tell y'all anyway, right? Because I'm real like that.
Hold on, bell ringing. There's a moment here. All right, here we go.
A ratchet moment in my life, right? So I'm gonna, you know, tell y'all. So okay. So before I got
let me take me a swig. Go ahead.
So before I got, you know, remarried, and I met my, met my now husband, and, you know, we're just, you know, talking, we were friends, doing business together and stuff like that. So I was saying, you know, ultimately, because I had been celibate, even like in my marriage, I had become celibate because I knew my husband was a mess and he was out there. And I was like, I am not messing with him like that. So I was celibate for over a year, even in my marriage, right? Before I even got divorced. So, and I ultimately continued that until I got remarried. However, I had a moment. And I said to my now husband when we were just friends, and I said, you know what? I said, it's two things that I want to do, you know, before I get remarried or in another relationship or just whatever, like at the end of my, you know, when my marriage was dissolved. I said, I want to have sex with somebody and I want to smoke weed, even if it's just for the day, for a moment, one time, whatever. But I just felt like those are two things that I wanted to do. You know, I hadn't smoke weed in 1,000 years, you know? And so I said, well, you know, maybe I'll just smoke, even if it's 2 puffs. I just want to do that. And I felt like I was going to be living on the wild side just for that moment. Right. And so when I said that to my now husband, he was like, really? Like, you would want to do something like that? Like, you're a woman, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're a woman. Why would you want to just go out there and just have sex with somebody? And it didn't have to be a random new person. It could have been even somebody old from back in the day, maybe whoever, I don't know. I didn't have anybody in mind, but in that moment I said, I just want to do it once. Right. But the way he talked to me about it, he was so, it was like God was speaking to me. Right. And he, you know, just really put things in perspective and really challenged me as a woman, and was just like, dang, like, you really feel that way about yourself that you would want to do something like that. And it really made me reflect. And I was like, damn, I feel ratchet as hell. Like, God, no, brother, I just want to.
But if he didn't interject, do you think you would have done it? Because me and you talked about the celibacy. I don't know about the weed. Me and you never had that conversation, but we had that conversation before you met your husband about your celibacy. Exactly. And I used to joke with you a little bit about it, that when you do it, you're going to kill somebody. I did joke with you. This is real talk right now. If he didn't intervene, do you think you would have went out there and did it?
You know what? Smoking weed, I was never a big weed smoker anyway. I just did it, you know, like once in a while, hanging out with my cousins or friends or something like that. But so it wasn't that big of a deal. But I had been around it a lot, but still never, still never smoked, because I was just trying to still live my life, you know, a better way. And it's still not the best thing for you anyway. But a part of me feels like if I was in a certain position, I might have somebody sitting there with a blunt. I might just hit it, you know, once or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm talking about the sex part.
Yeah.
Let's get to the sex part.
The sex part, I might have gotten weak and just said, you know what, I might have gotten weak and just, you know, and done it. You know, I don't know. But still, even with that, it might have just been once, you know, and I would have continued on Lord's will, like with my celibacy. But then I ended up remaining celibate. So like the only one in between my ex-husband and my now husband ultimately is my husband. You know what I mean? Yeah. But still, like, he just really. I
mean, I wouldn't change my view on either or. However you roll, it wouldn't have changed my view on you.
Yeah,
never. That's between you and your God, but it would have never changed my view. I still think, and I'm gonna just say this: I don't think a woman should just be giving herself up, and a man should just be giving herself up. But I don't believe in celibacy for 4 and 5 and 2 years and 3 years. I don't believe in that. And y'all can come at me. I don't believe in that. I think it's not natural. We are sexual creatures. And when I brought it up just now, Joe laughed, but you all know I take it dead serious because it's part of life. And that's how we're here. And I don't play games with this. because I know that sex can, how it makes a person feel. I know what the health side, the holistic side to intimacy and stuff like that, to intimacy with not intercourse, but intimacy with intercourse. So I don't run from that. I don't play with that. And and as a grown person, and that's why we didn't play with it with our children. We explained it, what it was, what it is, and that they could perform and make righteous decisions at a responsible age to deal with that. So that's how I don't play games with it.
Yeah.
If old country boy could get a word in edgewise here, as old country folks would say in my neck of the woods, you know, Brother Fatim, from your perspective and from your point of view, and from your life experiences, I can do nothing but say, hey, I understand what you're saying. I just know everybody don't see it that way. Just like you say with many other things we talk about. Yeah, from your opinion, your point of view, facts, and the life that you lived, sex is important. Some folk don't see it that way. And I'm not going to try to put what you say. And I was just laughing because I know we always wind up here some way, somehow. There's certain things in this show we always wind up at a certain place with, and I'm good with that. But I'm just saying, just like sometimes when we get into the spiritual aspects or quote unquote religious aspects, I understand that everybody don't see it the way I see it, live the life I lived, or went through what I went through. So I just can't say how important it is to them, because to some folks, sex is not important. Some folks can't be celibate for years and be right with that. And guess what? If that's their path, that's their path. I'm not saying they're on the wrong path. I'm not saying you're on the right path. I'm saying they found what works for them, and they living a good life and their best life, doing what they feel is right for them. At the end of the day, that's where a lot of us really need to get to. It was very strange the time I was off the camera. I'm on a call that I went one way and then turned a whole nother. But I'll say this: you got to look at folks and meet folks where they're at. That's where I think a lot of us are making a mistake. I have to say something and go back. I hate to bring up a scab and rip the scab off the wound, but what you said at the beginning of the show, when you were really into it and was very passionate, it had the right to be. You know, it's because, you know, the truth about it is, regardless if it's football season, basketball season, regardless if somebody got married, a child got born, regardless of what happens, when egregious things happen to people, especially our people, melanated folks, we can't sit here and say, man, oh, forget about that. Let's not talk about that. It's holly golly. Let's gee golly whiz have a good time because it's football season, basketball season, baseball season, or whatever. No, somebody who looked like you and I got mistreated, and because of that, we need to address it and let folks know that we're not going to sit here and let you do that, and we keep a smile on our face. We're not going back. That's going back to the days of, if I tell you to walk on the other side of the street, you walk on the other side of the street, because your colored folks don't walk on my side of the street. You know, and it is a Monday, and it's 4 minutes to the top of the hour. And at the top of the hour, we're going to get you motivated. We're going to get you with the international hype girl. We're going to get you going, woo, let's go. Because
you know, I got a comment to you what you said, Joe. You know I'm coming back. I'm coming back, right? So let me go ahead and come back.
Hold it. You got 3 minutes, sir. Go.
I appreciate it. So I agree. I totally agree that this is why, and somebody put in the comment, Jewel Wall said, extremely important discussion. That's why I don't like to skate over this, is that one of the things is, Joe, you're right. But I said I was going to say this, but I didn't get to it. If we want to talk about this from not just a relationship point of view, not from a lust point of view, but from a scientific point of view. So yeah, when a person makes a decision about celibacy, that's great. That's their decision. What I'm saying, that there's health benefits, and I said that earlier about sex. So if you don't do that, and you do other things to release the endorphins and do that, that's great. That's great. But when you don't do certain things, just like us men, I'll be honest with you, you see more men, and this is something I'll bring up with the doc. More men, when we get older, we have prostate cancer because we don't have sex and we don't utilize our prostate as much as we used to. I'm not saying it's associated, but it make me my mind that I want to bring that up to the doctor. Is that has that been a study to look into that? So the point I'm getting back to about the celibacy is that that's fine if you choose to do that. But if you try to do that in your relationship, and you said meeting a person halfway, and they don't enjoy sex and don't want to have sex, or there's certain reasons why people don't do sex, to have sex. There's certain reasons, but don't complain because all of a sudden your decision is that, but your partner decision, because your partner is not you. And that's another thing that part of the problem with relationships is that there's other money issues, sexual issues, and we can't run from that. So if you want to be celibate till you meet someone is one thing. If you want to be celibate and don't want to have sex no more, then you got to realize you have to be transparent when you meet someone. If you not, then I'm not meeting you halfway on that shit. I'm not meeting you halfway on that. I'm not.
When I met my husband,
I'm not doing that.
And that makes it non-negotiable for some folk. Once again, you brought up some very valid points that I wanted folks to hear, because once again, when you say what you say, Brother Fatim, it almost makes it seem like this is the way it needs to be. And if you're not in this category, there's something wrong with you. No, there needs to be a discussion, because there are folks who are living good, healthy, very nice, productive lives that are not in the category that you just threw out there. And they
backed up, but they backed up. I mean, I'm a man, and I know I went a long time, boy, when I explode, good God, I know what that feeling of that terminal of blue balls is. And that's real. You think that's not a joke?
I'm not laughing because of that, Brother.
5 years without having sex and his thing worked. You understand? That's fine. You do what you do. But I'm telling you, there's going to be some effects. There's going to be some residual effects from not having sex. That's fine.
Yeah,
that's scientific.
When I met my husband, he was celibate. I was celibate. But yeah, there are like
y'all went like rabbits too in the beginning, right? All right, then. You can't lie to me, God dang it. All right,
Hold it. And to give Sister Jax her out and her disclaimer. Last time I checked, y'all ain't been married 3 years. Y'all still newlyweds in my category. But
they honey bunnying.
Okay. September 28th, it'll be 2 years.
Okay, so once again, with that being said, it is 1 minute after 9 o'clock. And let me bring in somebody who can make us all just laugh and say, you know what? We're going to stay with this, but we're going to get some motivation. It is my girl, Alethea, in the building.
What is
in the building?
Good morning.
Hey, Alethea.
In New York? I know that.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
The week is going down.
I'm still in New York. Living the dream. Yes, I'm still here.
Are you in Midtown?
I'm close to Times Square.
So you're in Midtown. Okay, cool.
Yes.
Cool. Okay. All right, no problem. So you heard our conversation?
Yeah. Yes.
Can sex brighten your day? Can sex be some motivation?
Yes.
All right, then. All right, then. Talking my language, then.
Yes.
Let's go.
Like that can make your whole entire day better. Yes, it can. Whether I'm getting it from my wife or from myself, like it's the same thing.
I'm talking about grown folks having conversation. That's what I'm talking about. If it ain't your wife, it's the Rose. I ain't got a problem with it.
I mean, they don't sell it for nothing. They don't sell it for nothing, and it's a multi-million-dollar industry. So I mean, they must be doing something right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Boy. So it's Motivational Monday. Come on, talk to me.
What's going on?
How we getting motivated this Monday?
Sex.
Where? I mean, I have a good day on purpose.
Hold it. I need some motivation because this hurricane coming it's definitely been a Debbie Downer for me because my phone been ringing. I got to jump off. Soon as you jump off, after you do your motivation, I got to change clothes before I close the show. Man, come on, we need something to put a smile on our face.
I am out here living my dream, doing things that I never thought I could possibly do, doing things that people told me I could never do. But we need to stop limiting ourselves based on other people's expectations of us. Because it's other people's expectations that have our shackles on. It's other people's expectations that make us think that we can't do anything. It's other people who appraise us and put worth on us that make us think that we can't do what God intended us to do. So we need to stop letting other people tell us what we can and cannot do and just go out there and do the damn thing and find this out for ourselves. Stop letting people project the shit that they cannot do onto us, because just because they couldn't do it don't mean that we can't do it.
Come on, speak on that.
And misery loves company. So you're right. That's why you don't
need
let
my
that
company.
Exactly. You don't put your energy in there. That's right. You don't put your
again, sis. It don't
there
need
you
my
go.
company.
Okay, it is not desired nor required. I don't need that negative energy in my life. If I were to listen to other people, then I wouldn't be sitting where I'm sitting right now. If I were to listen to other people, there are millions of people that can be doing so many other things with their lives, but so many people are in their ears telling them, "Oh, well, girl, you sure you want to do that? Or are you sure you want to start your own business? Because you know, last time whenever I tried this ain't you, honey. This is me. Let me be, because what didn't work for you, that doesn't mean that it won't work for me because I'm cut from a different cloth." I mean, I'm just saying.
That's right.
But Alethea, you know, we can't sometimes help. You know, we can't help what family we're born into. But we can definitely choose the friends that we are around.
Correct.
And I think sometimes our value system is warped because who we call our friends, because we've known them from childhood or this, that, and the other. We have to look at their energy. And it's not that you're better than people. It's not about being better than people. It's about the direction you're going and the energy that you're getting. A lot of people don't understand energy. They just think, oh, I'm with this person. This person makes me laugh. But what are they doing for you? What are y'all doing for each other that helps build you up? You got to realize, for me, at least this is me, that when I'm around people that are motivating and positive, it causes me to be more productive. When you're around people who is just humdrum and always about getting high and drinking, that just pulls me down. And that's not how I move at the end of the day. So I always became my own man. When I'm ready to leave, I'm leaving. I don't give a damn what so-and-so, you know, but that's the problem in the sense of how we decide to move forward is how we choose our friends or our circle. Let's just say our circle. Can you talk a little bit about how important it is to surround yourself with people that are like mine, but also moving in a positive way?
Well, first of all, just because they're in your circle does not mean that they're in your corner.
Oh, say that again. Say that again. Oh, that's a JD saying. Come on, say that again.
Just because they're in your circle does not mean that they're in your corner. And and also just because they grew up with you does not mean that they grow up with you. And they don't have to. They don't have to. We know and understand that we are on another level than other people, and that's okay. That we may not be on the same level as our friends, and that's okay. Yes, I grew up with you. If you're not ready to grow up, I can't keep myself down because you're not ready. And we can still be friends. Yes, it is very important to have people around you to motivate you, to have people around you to pour into you as well as you pour in to yourself. And I will tell you why, because if I learn to pour into myself, I'm pouring into me. I'm filling up my own cup. I have people around me that's also pouring into me. Now my cup is already full because I've already filled it myself. Now I have other people that's also pouring into me. So when I pour into you, I'm not pouring from my reserve. I'm now pouring from my overflow. That's why it's important to have people around you to motivate you, because you're pouring and you're giving from your overflow. But sometimes we don't understand the flowers that's in our garden. That's why you can't mix every flower. You can't plant different flowers together, because weeds also look like flowers too. And some flowers will keep you from growing. So we have to learn how to differentiate between who's helping us grow and who's keeping us where we are. Because some people just want you to stay where you are because they can't grow. So therefore, they don't want you to either. So that's why we need to be very mindful of who we call our friends. We need to be very mindful of who we have around us, because a snake that sheds its skin, it only becomes a bigger snake. Like it doesn't become anything else. So I'm very mindful of who I have around me. I'm very mindful of the energy that's around me, because I don't need anybody that's gonna drain me. And there's a lot of energy suckers that want what you have because they don't have it in themselves. So they want to drain you and keep you down, but that doesn't do anything for you at all. Especially women. Oh, we love this crab in a bucket mentality where we keep each other down, and we need to stop doing that and learn how to motivate each other and lift each other up. Jax, I'm sure that you have been in that bucket before.
Sis, I mean, you are saying the word, and it's so true, because some people they'll try to drain you at all costs. So sometimes you just got to stop a conversation, hang up the phone and just sometimes move on, or just simply walk away if you're face to face. Sometimes you just got to walk away and don't feel obligated, because the only one you need to feel obligated to is the Most High, yourself, and your family. That's what's most important, So we got to love on ourselves. Like you said, we got to fill up our own buckets first. We can't expect everybody else to pour in. You got to pour into yourself first, and then whatever else is just an overflow.
You got to hit him one. You got to hit him one time, Alethea, with the baby. Let me tell you something, baby. You got to be first. I always start with that hashtag. Start with self, and here's why. So many times we try to make sure everybody else all right.
Yeah.
And that's why when you get first thing, we all fly. When you get on the flight, what do they tell you? In case of an emergency,
put your own mask on
there'll be
first.
some mask, right? Because here's what you don't want to do: put everybody else mask on. They live, but you die.
Yeah.
Come on, family.
Like you can be. We are, especially in the Black culture, we are trained to be people pleasers. But what I had to realize is that I'm people too.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm people too. So what about me? Just like Effie said, what about what I need? What about me? Like what about me?
Right.
Like what have you done for yourself lately? If you make a list of everything that you do for everybody else, and then make a list of what you do for yourself, you would be surprised at how that list looks.
No, you are so right. My husband and I constantly have that conversation, because he's such a giver, and he's more of a people pleaser, than I am. So trying to strike that balance and really get him to understand, like, bro, when have you poured into yourself? When have you poured even more abundantly into the home? Because he's quick. If somebody says, "Oh, I need a ride to Korea," he's like,
running
to Korea. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, babe, you got to pull back and still slow down. Do the work for the Most High. Do everything you got to do. Do the stuff for your job, but still pour into yourself. Because he gives so much to everybody else.
But this is where boundaries
right.
come into play.
Hold it. And people don't know that is right there. Listen, I have no degree, have no degree in this area, have not been an expert. But folk I know, be it friends, foe, relatives, folks I observe, the most destructive thing to any relationship is when you put more into everything else except the relationship you're in. That is the most destructive thing. When your better half, maybe you can't dance, maybe you don't like to dance, but your better half likes to dance. You better figure out a way to go with her to dance, even if you don't dance. If you just let her dance, but y'all are in the environment where the music is playing. So many times, it's the little things. It's the little things, and folks don't understand. But see, for those who consider themselves religious, spiritual, or read words from out of religious books, one of the religious books I read, the Bible says it's the small foxes that mess up the vine. The vine gets messed up from the little stuff. See, and so many times our eyes on the big things. Did you pay this? See, here's where most people are. Did you pay this? Can I drive this? And can I do this? That doesn't make a relationship. What you can pay doesn't make a relationship. If relationships were based on money, a lot of us wouldn't have a relationship because a lot of y'all ain't got no money. If money equal honey, a lot of y'all ain't got no money, so that means you wouldn't have no honey. I'm just saying. Well, I wonder what the honey badger is. He done disappeared. But we'll ask for him to come back. But at the end of the day, you got to say to yourself and understand this: what works for you may not. What works for Joe may not work for Jax. May not.
And
work,
it won't.
But there may be elements of what they have working for them that I can observe and say, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I might need to incorporate this into my lifestyle, because by doing so, it may enhance my lifestyle. That's why I end the show the way I end it. Be better today. And by being better, sometimes to be better, you got to see better.
But also for that to happen, going back to what Brother Fatim said, you have to be around those type of people. You have to be around those type of people.
Right.
Because how I can't learn from somebody that doesn't want to grow.
That's right.
I can't learn from somebody that doesn't want to do better for themselves. I can't learn from somebody that, because I'm growing now, you would rather hate on me than us grow together, so I can learn from you and you can learn from me, and we can keep building and building and building and building. But you'd rather hold me down because you do not want to grow. That's where the boundaries come in. No, I may not be able to choose who my family is. I may not be able to choose, but I can choose how I react to you. I can choose whether or not I want to be around you in that space. And I don't have to be in that space. I can love you from way over there.
That's right.
Wait. Hold up.
Yeah. And you know, we also have to look at regression, because a lot of times people just look at regression with children, but we have to look at regression in terms of our relationships with our friends and family as well. Because if you hang around certain friends and family and you find yourself regressing and going back to your old ways or the old you and doing all the old things, you got to check yourself and check your spirit right then and there.
Yes.
Because if they're not for you, they're against you. You know, so you have to really just say, you know what, I got to remove myself so that I can move forward, because you're not moving forward on this train, and that's okay. Stay where you are. And Lord's will, your train to come and you'll hop on the next one. But on this train, sister or brother, you ain't on it. So I got to keep on moving forward. But
one of the most delicate situations is, like you say, Sister Jack, sometimes it's not the extreme. It's not that if it's not for you, they against you. You know what I'm saying? It's because when I went to college, I hung around my friends and my cousins, and they drank. They got their quarter beers and this, that, and the other. And my father created a basement that he said, I know that you guys are older. It don't look good. You standing on a corner with quarts of beers. My father, he gave me permission to drink, but I didn't really drink. So I wasn't there behind beer. I just thought that was the most sloppiest thing to do, is drink behind everybody spitting the beer. So I didn't do that. But when I went to college, when I came home, I was separated from it more. So when I came home and I said, what we doing Friday night? Oh, we just gonna get a couple of quarts and stand outside. It made me like, that's not who I am now. So I didn't lose them as friends, but my time with them started to dissipate. So at times on the weekends, I just didn't come home sometime because I was only an hour away in college by train. So I could come home or whatever. So I didn't lose them as friends. And my cousins didn't look at me like I was uppity. It's just that I didn't move in that direction. But because I was my own man, Sister Alethea, they didn't come at me. See, there's a difference when people respect you. Because if they don't respect you, they'll ridicule you, this, that, and the other. You get in my face, it is what it is. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? But the bottom line is they respected my decision because they knew how I moved. And they knew that because they did it, and they did something that I didn't do, didn't stop our friendship or my relationship as a family member. And that respect made the difference that we could still be together on things that we enjoy to do. But some of the things that they were doing that I didn't partake in, I pulled myself out of that and it didn't create a problem. But it doesn't work for everybody like that.
No, it doesn't. But that still shows that they were still for you. You know
exactly.
Because those that are against you are the ones, oh man, come on, how come you ain't gonna drink with me? Oh, come on, why don't you, sparkle, let's go bag these hoes, or those are the ones that are still against you, although they might try to appear.
We was together for that one, but anyway, go ahead.
And another thing when it comes down to me, grand motivation to me is this one word that many a times is far removed from us as a people, melanated folks. We got to be consistent. Whatever you do, don't start something that you can't continue. Because once you start it, I'm going to expect for you to continue it unless we have a conversation about why all of a sudden we hold it. Consistency and conversation. Them are two C's that hurt most folks when it comes down to motivation and to relationships. They're not communicating and they're not consistent. And then because you ain't communicated to me why you're not consistent, I'm over here thinking there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with us. Not knowing a little communication and consistency can go a long way.
This is why it is important for you to become the bodyguard in your own life. And what I mean is, like, if you've ever been to one of those fancy clubs, which I've seen out here, where they list like you got to be dressed a certain way, like you got to look a certain way. You can't have this on, you can't have that on, you can't act like this, or you're not getting in here. And people want to get into the club, so therefore they are going to check themselves from head to toe to make sure that they meet the requirements to get in the club. They still want to be around you, but now since you have made it perfectly clear what your requirements are, now they know how to step to you. Now they know, okay, around Brother Fatim, I can't drink, I can't do this. Like, I still want to be around him, but I know what his requirements are. So that's why you need to become the bodyguard in your own life, and you let them know, listen, if you don't follow this, that's the communication. If you don't follow this, then I'm gonna have to escort you out.
That's right. That's right. And you know what, Sister Alethea, and don't be ashamed or afraid to do it.
Okay, because look, I will give you the boot. Like,
get your step in. Yeah.
Get your go.
That's right. That's right.
Why are you still here? Did you not see the requirements?
Yeah. It's so funny you say that. It makes me think about now, because I'm about to have surgery on Wednesday, right? So my mother-in-law is going to come into town to stay. So in our household, right, we do our best to go by scripture. So if you're a woman and you in our house, you're going to have on a skirt. I got some extra skirts for you to throw on, or muumuus, dresses, whatever the hell you want. But that's the guidelines in our home, right? So my mother-in-law is very, compliant and respectful with that. She'll be like, oh no, that's what y'all do. But shoot, as soon as I get out the door, I'm snatching this damn skirt off.
Right.
But she'll still be respectful when she's with us, because if that's how you run your house, that's how you
exactly.
My mama, on the other hand, she got all type of stories. Oh, well, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, well, if you don't want to follow these guidelines, you know what I'm saying, you don't got to come. We love you, but you're welcome to come. But this is just what we do in our home. Just like when I go to your home, if I want to smoke crack and you say it's no smoking crack in my home, I can't smoke crack when I go to your house. I spark up when I get out the house, you know?
Okay.
So, you know, a spirit on them that is still just a rebellious spirit, no matter what. So you still have to understand and say, you know what, these are my rules. This is how it goes. If you don't like it, it's okay. I still love you. You know, you welcome anytime, but just when you come, just you got to rock with how we rock in our household. If not, we go to your household to hang out, do what you want to do at your house. But in our house, this is how we do it.
Right. Rules are rules. And guess what? My rules are my rules. I respect your rules. You have to respect mine. And that's another word that we very loosey-goosey with.
Yes.
Respect and responsibility. Nobody wants to respect and nobody wants to take the responsibility. Now, I'm going to say this because somebody sent me a little message and a call I had to jump off on while y'all two were on screen. And I want to address this because somebody said, are you okay? I'm fine. I'm fine. And I want to address this because I know some people have sent me some messages already about this little post I put up. Hey, I'm fine. I meant what I said, and I'm not changing a word of it. So I want y'all to understand. I'm gonna read it to everybody here. So in case somebody didn't go to my page, I say good AM, happy Monday. Don't go where you're not honored. Let me say that again. Don't go where you're not honored. I use this scripture. I use the scripture of Matthew 7:6, where it says, "Do not give that which is holy to dogs." Do not throw your pearl before pigs, but they will trample them under their feet and tear you to pieces. Okay, listen, I done spent too much time. I'm gonna just read what I wrote, and I'm gonna tell you why I wrote it. I done spent too much time cultivating relationships that had no benefit to me. I gave my gift or my time with my whole heart, but yet received nothing in return. Okay. I finally realized it's for these reasons, in my opinion. Okay, in my opinion, it's whether I offended somebody, there was some judgmental mindsets, or there was some people believing that they were better than me when they were around me and just didn't want to deal with me. They did not honor me, respect me, or want to use, and they only wanted to use me for my connection and my gifts for their benefit. I learned my lesson. Right now, I got a simple philosophy. I say it every morning on every post. I help who I can help. I fix what I can fix, and everything else, I let go and let God. Don't waste your time in this season with people who do not value your worth. Period.
Ding, 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 ding.
You know, when Joe read that, you know, it made me think of how when I was in corporate America, after the pandemic, I was able to work more remotely. And not only it seems like I work harder or more, you know, efficiently now, but I get all those distractions. A lot of things that Joe puts out there and that touches my soul touched me when I was mostly in the work world. I'm not going to say it didn't touch me, family or whatever, but mostly in the work world where I'm communicating with a lot of other people and a lot of other personalities. But since I control my entity now more, I allow I allow who comes into my space when I work now. So I don't have all that extra energy. Now it could be positive or it could be negative, Sister Letha, Jackson, Joe. What I mean, the negative part is that we feed off of people. We could feed off of their energy. And if it's good energy, it picks us up. Other side is that we also feed off of people's negative energy and it brings us down. It makes us less productive at the end of the day. But I noticed when Joe talks about this and talk about people in general and this, that, and the other, I just noticed when I was in the work world, I understood and walked in that light more than I do now, as I'm more my own. I'm not my own boss, but I'm not micromanaged by my managers right now. So that I breathe, even though I work with Reverend Sharpton, I don't work for Reverend Sharpton because he can be very demanding, but I don't work for him. I work with him. So my world is where I take more responsibility of myself and accountability of myself. And I don't deal with a lot of that, even though it does creep in at times. I don't deal with it as much as I'm dealing with a lot of people as I go out to and fro from work every day. I just don't deal with that on a daily basis like I used to.
Mhm.
Joe, do you think that is this coming from work or is it coming from the environment like that?
No. Okay, because we only got about 3-4 minutes with Miss Alethea, and she in New York doing her thing, and she's on every other Monday from 9 to 9:30. I'll just say this: there comes a time that we all get tired. I'm tired, and I'm tired of hold it. I'm tired of smiling faces. Hold it. I put this out there, and I meant it from the bottom of my soul. And if it applies to you, just put your pants on and wear it. If it don't, let it go by you. Some of you pretend to be angels and saints in public places and public spaces, in the public eye, but behind closed doors, you're nothing but snakes and devils. I'm tired of these snakes and devils behind closed doors with big smiles on their faces out in public places, trying to act like they with you, they for you, they down. No, now you plotting against me. You've been plotting against me. And I can tell you plotting against me when something rises up that not go my way. Because instead of you calling me, asking me how I'm doing, am I all right? Is everything fine? You over there applauding. I'm so happy that he fell down. I knew he was gonna fall down. He should have never did what he did anyway. He should have listened to me. He should have called me. He didn't call me. That's what he gets for not calling me. Those type folks, these folks that try to make you feel like, oh, I'm in public, you see them and they're the ones who will ask you, how you doing? What you doing? What you up to? They got 50 million questions about you because they're trying to get intel where they can pray against you, where they can hope for your downfall. That's all I got to say. Look, Sister Alethea, I know you got to get ready to get up out of here. I'm going to give you some closing words. Listen, family, she's going to be on TV. Are you on TV today? Are you on KA? What is it? KA?
No, because of the weather that's coming in, that they're going to need that whole time to talk about the weather, which I totally get. And this is my only day off. Whew. And then I start back working again tomorrow with Fashion Week. So,
how long are you in New York before you close out?
I am in New York until the 11th. I fly out on the 12th to go to Canada. So I'll be off.
So I'm gonna miss you because I'll be coming into New York on Saturday, flying in Saturday. Okay, got you.
Listen, right. Listen. I don't care what nobody tell you. Do not let anybody stop you from living your dream. Do not let the haters. And everybody who follows me should know my acronym for haters, because I used to get mad, but I don't anymore. If you do not remember anything else, be happy for your haters, Joe. Because haters stands for having anger towards everyone reaching success. So let them be mad. Let them be mad. Let them have haters. That's why I'm happy that I am here. I applaud my haters because you motivate me to keep doing more. You motivate me to keep doing better. So as long as I have haters, I know I'm doing something right.
Amen, sis.
I'm doing something right. So haters, hello.
That's right.
You know her from the J. She was on J HUD. She went from being in a car to being on J HUD. Now she had Fashion Week in New York. She headed to Canada. Lord knows where you
the runway. Wait, let's just say let's just put this out here. Let's just put that out here for the haters. Hello. Not only was I in front rows at Fashion Week taking pictures with designers, she walked the runway.
Go ahead, sexy walk. Go ahead, sexy walk.
I hosted, I emceed 2 events in New York Fashion Week. I'm going to have a billboard in Times Square. Please hate me.
Yeah, they don't. Some people don't understand how big Fashion Week, even though it's New York, this is international. This is international. Around 6th Avenue, 6th Avenue, Avenue of Americas, going down to 5th Avenue, in the park there, how they do this, the billboards in Times Square. She's staying near Times Square. right there. Fashion Week is one of the biggest events that takes place in New York City. And you get all these major designers, people but in the fashion world, they are big names out there. And then you get entertainers and music artists, and all of them are coming out to Fashion Week as well. So enjoy yourself, Sister Alethea. Congratulations, my sister.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
no, make sure you get for my number, Joe, just in case you're ever in New York, because I'm like 30 minutes away. So if it's ever an emergency or something jumps off and you need to get someplace safe other than where you are, hit me up, sis. So just
thank you. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, folks, look out for each other on hashtag Truth Be Told. Sister Alethea, we appreciate you coming on. We appreciate you being a ray of sunshine on this Motivational Monday. And enjoy your time in New York. Enjoy your day off. And we'll see you Monday after next. Monday after next, she'll have a lovely face back up on here.
And before I leave, I just need everybody to know, I always say, be great in their face. But before you can be great in anybody else's face, you have to look in the mirror and be great in your own. Be great in your own face. Then and only then will you be able to be great in their face. So as you go out there and be great in their face, remember who you are. Because when you know who you are, then nobody can tell you who you are. And as always, you have a good day on purpose. You're welcome.
That's what I'm talking about. That's my girl. All right.
Go ahead, girl.
What I'm talking about. Y'all look, y'all never know who we gonna have on here. That's all I gotta say. Y'all never know who we gonna have on here. We got my girl Alethea. She getting ready to do her thing, New York Fashion Week. Listen, and I love how she said, yeah, I got a little speech impediment, but guess what? It ain't stopping me from being great in your face. That part right there. That's all I gotta say about it, family. So
Joe, can we stay in New York for a minute?
Yeah, let's stay in New York.
All right, so this is, I'm kind of knee deep in this story. And so this story broke this week, but I just didn't bring it to the table. I'm just trying to bring the show back up on my phone. So earlier this week in New York, federal authorities conducted sweeping raids searching the homes of several top officials in New York City Mayor Eric Adams' administration. The individuals targeted included Police Commissioner Edward Caban, Deputy Mayor for Public Safety Phil Banks, School Chancellor David Banks, First Deputy Mayor Sheena Wright, and other high-ranking advisors. I know every one of them except the Police Commissioner. I don't know him. I never met him, but I know everyone on personal basis. I just spoke with Phil Banks on another matter this past Tuesday, and we were scheduled to speak with the Chancellor, but with this here, we had to deal with this story this past Sunday. The FBI seized phones and electronics from these officials as part of an ongoing corruption investigation, which appears to center on city contracts and the enforcement of regulations around bars and clubs. Authorities are examining potential misconduct in these areas, raising concern about unregistered lobbying and possible selling police protection to nightlife venues, particularly through the involvement of key figures like James Caban, brother of the police commissioner. Now, Mayor Eric Adams has denied any knowledge of wrongdoing and has pledged full cooperation with federal authorities. While no formal charges have been filed yet, the mayor reiterated his support for the officials under scrutiny, including Police Commissioner Caban, despite increasing calls for the police commissioner's resignation. Now, Terrence Banks, brother of the two top city officials, Deputy Mayor Phil Banks and School Chancellor David Banks, has become a central figure in the investigation, as reported by the New York Daily News yesterday. His government relations firm, the Pearl Alliance, which represents various clients involved in city contracts, is under investigation for unregistered lobbying. Despite his electronics being seized, there are no public accusations of wrongdoing so far. So yesterday on Open Line, on air with me and Jennifer Jones Austin Esquire, we had the New York City public advocate Jumaane Williams on, and he released the following statement, and he followed up with this conversation yesterday. And it's the statement he released midweek last week. I don't know the reason for the warrants and searches of several top Adams administration officials. I do know that these repeated instances at higher and higher levels affect New Yorkers' confidence in government and as public advocate, I know that transparency is vital for effective public service. In that spirit, it is essential that the mayor and his administration provide clear and immediate explanations to the public to help restore trust. There are rumors floating around. Don't know how true they are, so I'll follow the news, but we will see what happens with the police commissioner as this week goes on. So we'll see. Like I said, I know most of these individuals. I have a relationship with them, but our job as journalists is that we report the news, and they have to understand that I can't compromise what I do. And, you know, and I bring up things that happen in Miami, and I am a New Yorker. So I had to make sure that I brought up this story on here. And a lot of the folks in the chat that listened to Open Line online yesterday or the on air knew that we covered this on both shows yesterday.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow. You know,
Yeah,
just got to
yeah.
pay attention. Pay attention. Don't watch what they say. Watch what they do. And that's regardless if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, Green Party, Purple Party, Antenna Party. If you have been elected into office, don't watch what they say.
Yeah.
Watch what they do and understand politics. The definition of politics is getting services using governmental means to certain individuals.
Mhm.
And you got to make sure that the people you're putting in office is getting the products and the services to the folks that need to get the products and the services. So I'm going to be jumping off here just for a second and let Sister Jackson, Brother Fatim continue this conversation. But, you know, it's like tomorrow. We're going to talk about it probably all day tomorrow. I didn't want to talk about it too much today, but tomorrow there is a debate. A debate getting ready to happen. So
I'm gonna put information out when you leave, Joe. I'm gonna talk a little bit about that with Jax. So the 90 minute
real quick, prayers up for Mayor Adams, because he's been under such high scrutiny from day one. You know, and I mean, this isn't the first time they've searched his people's homes. You know, they've been doing this, you know, on and off for a long time now. So just, you know, big ups to Mayor Adams, his team, anybody affiliated. Just prayers that everybody's doing the right thing, and you know that they will, you know, be found, you know, innocent and don't have any crazy stuff, you know, in the cut. We know how politics can be, and just, you know, just be careful, because you know people want to bring down somebody that looks like us, unfortunately, and they'll take the smallest little thing and turn it into something great. But of course, we're not to break the law. But just prayers up for Mayor Adams and all of our other, especially our Black politicians that got in there with a sincere heart, that's really just trying to make a difference and have fallen under such watchful eyes.
Yeah, and I'll make this statement. I'll tell you straight up. I've known Mayor Eric Adams for a long time, for a very, very long time. Stand up brother to me. Know Phil Banks for a long time. Another stand up brother, and I know David Banks, the school chancellor, for years. And these are people that I call my friends, and I still call them my friends. You know, and I just hope that, you know, they say, you know, where there's smoke, there's fire, but we'll see. Like now, it seems like it's turning more towards the police commissioner's brother and the bank's younger brother, who, you know, so we'll see. Again, we don't have no hardcore evidence, so until we see more things coming out, we'll just follow it. But I have to do, you know, I had to do the story. And they have to understand, you know, how this works. I can't compromise what I do, but I don't have a problem saying I'm not, you know, these are individuals that I call my friends. They're my friends. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm not gonna water that down, you know, because I've called on to them for things and advice or whatever, and I'm not gonna run from that. You understand?
That's right.
And thank you for saying that. So just real quick, so just to talk a little bit about the debate tomorrow in a sense of just some of the things. So the 90-minute presidential debate between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump, as we said, it will take place tomorrow on ABC. The debate will feature 2 commercial breaks, and all questions will be asked by the moderators with no input from the candidates to each other. A coin toss determined already that Donald Trump will deliver the final closing statements, while Kamala Harris selected the stage left podium. There will be no opening statements, and each candidate will have 2 minutes for their closing remarks, ensuring a clear, organized end to the debate. Candidates will be allowed only basic materials, pen, paper, and water, with no props or notes. Each will have 2 minutes for answers, 2 minutes for rebuttals, and 1 minute for follow-up responses. Microphones will be controlled with only the speaking candidate's mic live at any given time. There will be no audience, and the moderators will strictly enforce timing and decorum to maintain civility. I want to see them enforce that. But if you have control of the mic, your time's up. Blah blah blah. Whoop, cut the mic.
Yeah.
Can't hear you no more. So that's how I enforce it. We give you that one time. You don't listen, your mic getting cut.
That's right.
You know, and that's the bottom line, because you know the rules. You know the rules. You're not no 12-year-old kid. And I see kids in spelling bees act more proper than damn adults.
Sure enough, right? Those little kids be on point in those spelling bees. Were you ever in the spelling bee for teen?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did good, didn't you? You did good.
I did. I think I became. I mean, we first did it in the class, because you have to do it in the class.
Yeah.
And then from the class, then you had to go do it, you know, to represent the school. So they did it to each class. Then the class go to the auditorium. Whoever comes from the class go to the auditorium, and so and so. I think we had a guy named Kenny Anderson. Kenny Anderson, when I did the spelling bee, he won it in our class. I think I came. I wasn't runner up. No, I think I was in the top 5.
Nice, I believe it.
I was in the top 5, definitely. I think I was 4. And then he went on. I think he went to represent, and I don't think he won the national. But he did, you know, he did pretty good. He was a very smart and very talented kid. He drew, and he just was very talented. You know, you start to see these talents, you know, if you go to the right schools, and you start to see these talents start to come out in elementary school. You really start to see the talents come out in elementary school. And for us, you got to realize, for me, I had band in junior high school. But we came out, we played at our elementary graduation.
Okay, really? Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of us had a band in 4th grade. Not in school, but in our block. We had a 4th grade band. Again, I told y'all, we were little adults.
Yeah.
Probably we were in 4th grade, I don't really know. But like I said, our key was around our neck. And, you know, or tied to our pocket, whatever, tied to our belt loop. Yeah. We were like little people. Yeah. We were little ninjas going in and out of the house. I was in a mixed neighborhood, but it was majority Black. And Black, Oriental, not too many Spanish, and a couple of white. Yeah. And that's how we grew up, you know, but we were little people. We had a band. We formed our own band. We had our own instruments. I got my drum set in the 4th grade. Okay. And, you know, and then when I went to junior high school, my father put me in to learn how to read music. And they told my father to take my drum set away from me. I had to learn how to do certain, you know, things on the pad. That's how I learned.
We got to have one hashtag truth be told one day. I want to see a picture of Lil Fatine. So you got to
send you. I can send you one.
I want to see a picture of Lil Fatine.
I'll send you one now. I'm gonna find it, but I'll find it.
And I want to see Joe with some hair on his head. Little JoJo.
Oh Lord, little JoJo. Oh God.
But you know what? It's funny. Like I was in spelling bees as well growing up, and I love to spell. But you know what? That art, like you don't really see it when you look at a lot of the script spelling bees now that come on TV. It you know, when you catch it, it's a lot of you like Indian kids, Asian kids, you know, stuff like that. It's not very many of us. So I think what I want to do, a next initiative that I want to do within my community, is to start up a spelling bee. I think I'm going to get with my councilman, my brother, and talk to him about it and see what we can do, and especially in one of the wards, and maybe have a battle of a spelling bee battle with different schools across the ward. So I want to do that because you know what? A lot of our kids just put so much focus on, you know, AAU and, you know, basketball and cheerleading and, you know, dance. And I hate seeing these little girls, especially doing a ratchet dance, like the little girls with their legs wide open and pop, 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 you know, like that just irks my little soul. But to have these kids see themselves in a different light and to actually learn how to spell, because especially nowadays with this technology on the phones, these damn kids can't halfway spell, you know, wouldn't, you know, or you know, there, they get the theirs all mixed up and, you know, all this stuff. So I think I want to start that little initiative and see what we can do.
I think you should. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you and Joe this picture right now. Joe can put it up. I just got to find y'all in the chat. you know, but I'll send it to Joe. Joe, he just asked for me to send a daggone baby picture. So I
I
guess
want
I'll
to see a
send.
little fatigue. You had a big
Oh.
head fatigue. You was tall and skinny with a big head.
Hey, you ain't gonna see all. You ain't gonna see all that.
Did you have glasses back in the day, or that's just
No.
when you were older?
No,
Okay.
I don't. Okay, is that Joe in Jax? Let's see.
You wasn't one
Okay.
of them
Send it in the
dirty
chat.
kids with the glasses and the snotty nose.
Send it to me on Messenger where I can put
Oh,
it up.
okay. All right. Well, I sent it in the chat there, and then I sent it to Joe in the messenger.
Okay.
So it's not a great picture, but it's a school picture. So I'll do that
Right,
right
we looking-
now. And
What we doing? Baby pictures now?
no, she
I wanna
asks,
see you one
you
day.
know. Yeah.
Fatine
So
said,
when
I was just saying one day, but Fatine said no, 2 day. You gonna see?
yeah,
me
I'll
2
just
days.
send it to you right now. Here we go. There you go, Joe. It's sent to you. So you can put that up. My daughter called me.
Yeah, I've seen
My
this
daughter.
picture before.
Yeah, I had that on Facebook. Yeah. So
Here we go,
my daughter
family.
called.
Listen,
Stop. Here we go, family.
Oh,
Here
yeah, I
we
ain't got no shame in the game.
There you go. There
oh,
you go.
Oh, look at I am Malcolm X. Go ahead, Fatine.
Oh, yeah, Malcolm X. Oh,
I am Malcolm
Lord.
X. Oh, that is cute. Look at you, Fatine. Oh, little Brainiac. Go ahead, Fatine. That is so you know, I always told you remind me of my brother Everett. And
Right.
Everett's pictures at that age looks, you know, you guys actually would be around the same age. But that reminds me of my brother. Wow. Oh, look at Eastra. Oh my goodness.
That's me.
Okay, so I'll show it tomorrow or something, y'all. I can't pull it up that fast.
I pull it up fast.
You know, Mr. Fatime is I can get it to you just like that.
you know me.
Fatine don't play. I love you, Fatine. You are just it's I don't know nobody like you, Fatine.
I appreciate it.
It is 11 minutes to the top of the hour. I know why I stepped away. Y'all were talking about the up and coming debate. Tomorrow we will have full wall-to-wall conversation of two things: the debate and the impending storm that's about to hit Louisiana. This time of year, people get nervous in Louisiana when a storm come our way. Because we remember that bad sister named Katrina.
Oh God. Okay.
People listen, I'm telling you, you should have saw how this morning folk were calling me going, hey man, hey. I was like, what? There's a storm. I said, man, it's a category. It's supposed to be
It's a Cat 1, they saying, right?
Right. But you know how folks get. That's what they said about her too. Yeah, it ain't gonna be a lot. Yeah, she went from a cat. She went from a cat. I think a Cat 1 to a Cat 2 to real fast. But
he went from a Cat 3 to 5 fast because that morning we were on open line and I broke Mike. This was Bob Slade, James and Toomey, and Bob Pickett. I broke Mike. When I say I break Mike, I'm running the board. I broke Mike because I was getting the weather updates. And I said, folks, the reason why we're talking about it, reason why I got my guys talking about this, just in case you got family in Louisiana, tell them to take this serious. You can't ride this out in certain places. And that's why you saw so many people on the roof. They didn't take it serious.
And reason for that was, and let me give people, because I was here then. I was in the great state of Louisiana when Katrina hit. And reason for that was because there was a storm that came before Katrina that everybody said, red alert, get ready, pack your stuff up. And there were people who evacuated. And because of that prior evacuation, that I think was just a few weeks before Katrina hit, it made people kind of sluggish, saying, they said it the last time and it didn't really happen like they said. So we're not going to go through that. At the end of the day, let me say this with 8 minutes to the top of the hour. Take any storm seriously. People who live in the South, especially in Louisiana, know it doesn't have to be a named storm to cause issue. We can have a bad rainstorm with the infrastructure and the drainage around some of these places, and you can have severe flooding because a lot of these areas were former swamplands and marshes that we have now built neighborhoods on. So without retention ponds. So
Mm,
understand, take any weather event serious
mhm,
because no place is able of handling rain that comes just in droves in a small amount of time. No place, no, not in New Jersey, not in New York,
mm,
not in Louisiana. Places are not built to take just torrential rains that are pouring down for hours that just come like sheets of rain, sheets of rain. Nobody's built for that. Nobody's
mhm,
drainage is built for that. So
mhm,
take weather situation serious, especially now that they're letting you know that this storm will become probably a category 1 hurricane. Be careful. Be
mhm.
careful. Be prepared. As Sugar Free say, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
That's right. That's right. Joe, that's right.
Mhm.
I hit you with a picture, Joe. I hit you with
Uh-oh.
I found one for team. Well, I
Okay.
found two
So,
real quick for team.
so
All right. Let's see.
that means hold up. Here we go. Here we go. Hold
But
up.
yes, Alethea was saying the storm coming here also. I don't know when the last
Yeah, and it's coming to South Carolina too. So I got to fly out Saturday, and they're talking about something. So I got to watch the weather too.
Look at that.
Yeah, so that's me in a little black and white to the side. That's my daughter, and so I put that together with years ago. I said, oh my gosh, she looks just like me. But yeah, that's
Little Jax.
oh, little Jax. Yeah, little Jax with a little
Yeah, you put my picture up there, I would have been like, okay, little Jax, let's walk over down here this hallway and let's have a conversation.
yeah,
That damn fatigue.
There
That
you
yeah,
go.
damn
look,
fatigue.
I still had them cheeks, them little fat cheeks.
Mhm.
Cheeks. Yep, that's little Jax. That's when life was sweet. That's when life was.
Wasn't it? Wasn't it? We
Yep.
didn't know what we had back then, didn't we?
Yep. I
Come
think
on, man.
in that picture, my parents were still married. You know, we all lived under the same roof, running around with my brothers.
Doing Christmas,
Yeah, yeah. But I like the other holidays now.
Thanksgiving, eating cranberry sauce.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I remember one Christmas as a kid, I had got a motorized car, and like we had a nice sized house. I just remember riding the car, driving it all through the house, like in a circle. And then I remember at one point I spun out and slammed into the tree, and it fell right down on me. I just remember being a little kid sitting under the tree, like, oh shit, like I'm in trouble. Like, what am I gonna do now? But yeah, but now we have other beautiful high holy days that we celebrate. So boom, it's all good, y'all. We just gonna have to see a picture of Joe with an afro or something like that. I got to see
Oh
that.
no, never. That you will never see because that never existed.
Okay, they kept
You was
in-
bald when you came out, and you bald today, huh?
hey,
hell?
that's about it. That's about it. Be exact. Let me see. Can I dig up something right quick before, since everybody's showing baby pictures? Do I have? So I do. I do.
What you
Wait a
trying to say? Joe had alopecia.
That's something
minute.
going
That's
on.
how, he can say what he wants to. Hold on.
You look like Mr. Clean's son when Mr. Clean was out on the
Hold on.
bottle.
Hold on. Since you want to put it there, let me see. Can I? Here we go. Let me
Joe
go
have a
ahead and
three-piece suit.
yeah. Hold on. Hold it. As if you didn't know.
Yeah,
As if you didn't know. Hold on. So since y'all put out y'all out there, let me go ahead and do it. There we go. There we go. There we
Oh,
go.
look at Joe.
And there we go.
Oh,
There we
Good
go.
job.
Was suited
Little
and booted.
plaid, little jacket on.
Suited and booted from day one.
yes. Oh, that smile. Oh my God, Joe. That's beautiful.
Suited and booted since day one.
That is beautiful. Oh,
Somebody said I had a suit and a tie on. When did I take that picture? I was in first grade when I took that picture. So I had a suit and a tie on. Cricket time.
yeah.
All right, family.
Yeah.
It's about that time. It's been a good motivational Make It Happen Monday, 9th day of September, as we get ready for Bedlam tomorrow, because you know that's what it's gonna be. Tomorrow night, there's gonna be fireworks. I can't wait to what happens the day after tomorrow. That's what I can't wait to see. What happens the day after tomorrow. But tomorrow we will be giving you our version of what to be prepared for as the debate gets ready to go down. So it's time for some closing words. And let me start off with the lovely Sister Jax. Sister Jax.
Yes, everybody have a blessed day. Be safe, be good, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. If nobody told you to say they love you, you know who loves you. Your girl. Jax loves you. Pray for me once again, y'all, as I'm preparing for my surgery on Wednesday. I'm a little nervous, but I'm trying to put it in the hands of the Most High that he guides the doctor's hands and everybody else that's in the room. So the next 2 days for me will be extremely busy as I prepare to get me a new hip, y'all, because I'll be walking in the lecture sliding and to me a dance fatigue. But yeah, so anyway, you guys be blessed. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow, Lord's will. Peace out.
Okay, Brother Fatih.
Yeah, I don't have no special words. Just take a look at yourself, and just how we started the show, and just listen to the conversation and some of the comments. And I just don't like selfish people. And it bothers me, and that when people tend to just want to just lollygag and laugh, and again, life is serious and you want to take a break. And yeah, everything in is serious. You don't want to come to a party and everybody says, let's talk politics. I get that, but don't belittle and say, well, I don't want to deal with them distractions. I just want to deal with effing football. That to me is just irresponsible, and it's not about opinion. People could do that, but it just makes me say, one day you're going to hit that wall, and then when you call on folks, people are going to remember that. So just remember, it's we in this world, not by ourselves, and you should show at least some kind of compassion for others. So that's my final word.
All right. Let me say what I always say: be better today than you were yesterday. Do something today to be a blessing to someone, somewhere, somehow, some way, that there's no earthly way that they could pay you back, even if they wanted to. And always remember that there is no secret what God can do. What he has done for others, he will and he can do for you. But when God is with you, nothing or no one can stand against you. So on the behalf of myself, my co-host, Sister Jax, Brother Fatim, we'll catch y'all tomorrow. It is Tell the Truth Tuesday, as we do our analysis of the up-and-coming debate between former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris. And all I can say is have a wonderful day. Be blessed. If you're in Louisiana, or you're in the Gulf Coast, or you're in Texas, or you're anywhere that might be affected by the storm that's about to come through, get prepared today. Do not wait. Do what you need to do today. With that being said, be blessed. Have a great day. I'm up and out of here. We're up and out of here. See y'all tomorrow. If God says the same, peace.